Hey guys, Zach here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Bandai Movie Monster Series 2004 Rodan. Now, this version of Rodan comes from the 2004 film Godzilla Final Wars, which I really liked as a kid. It was actually the very first Godzilla movie I've ever seen, and it's what kind of got me into the series, but looking back on it now, it's not the best. It's not bad by any means. It's a good movie, but it's not as good as I remembered. And I'm not going to be like one of those people, oh, Godzilla Final Wars is the worst Godzilla movie I've ever seen, when it's not true. I've seen worse movies, heck, even worse Godzilla movies, but yeah, Godzilla Final Wars is just okay, so yeah. Anyway, before we take a look at the figure itself, let's take a quick look at the tag this figure comes with. So, on the cover here, we actually have a really nice picture of Rodan. I don't know if that's the suit or that's just a model, but either way, it looks very nice, and I actually really like how that looks. But anyway, right here, we have Rodan, both in English and in Japanese, and we have the 2018 emblem right there. On the back, we have Rodan's wing, and Movie Monster Series, both in English and in Japanese. Bandai, more information here. And the inside is just a lot of Japanese writing that I can't read, and a silhouette of Rodan right here. So, yeah. Anyway, that is it for the tag. Now for the figure itself. And first, we're going to take a look at the painting on this figure. And the painting on this figure is not bad. Not perfect, but a lot of these Bandai Movie Monster Series figures don't really have perfect paint to begin with, so yeah. Anyway, let's take a look. Starting off with the, like the majority of the body, which is a brownish reddish color, which looks nice and actually very accurate to how we look in Godzilla Final Wars, and I like that. And I actually like that a lot more than the Bandai Creations Rodan, because that figure was just red. No, it wasn't like this or anything like that, it was just straight up red, and I didn't really like that. However, this looks a lot more natural, and I like how this looks, but yeah. Anyway, at the bottom of the wings here, we have a bit of yellow. That's for the torso here, and the legs, the shins, the toenails, and the claws. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for that. The upper parts of the wings, we have kind of a black thing going on, which looks very nice. The beak is painted the same color, and the eyes are painted green with black pupils. And that's pretty much it for the paint. The painting on the front of the figure looks very nice. I don't see a single paint blemish, and yeah, it looks good. However, when you flip it over, there's nothing. Nothing here is painted, and that's actually kind of a shame. I would have liked there to be a bit of black on the tail here, or at least the holoxes here being painted, but other than that, yeah. The painting on the front of the figure looks good, however, the back doesn't look great. In fact, there's no paint at all, so I'd say that the painting on this figure, it gets a pass. Even though this is kind of distracting, it's okay because, you're not really going to be displaying your Rodan like that, so yeah, this is fine, so it gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the articulation, and the articulation on this figure is actually below average for a Bandai Movie Monster Series figure. So basically the legs can do this, and that is pretty much it. The head doesn't twist, there's no articulation in the wings, which I understand why there's none in the wings, but the head I don't really get, but yeah. Other than that, the articulation on this figure, for a Bandai Movie Monster Series figure, it is kind of disappointing and below average, so unfortunately, it doesn't get a pass. Now I'll take a look at the sculpt, and the sculpting on this figure is actually very nice. This model looks one-to-one to how he looked in Godzilla Final Wars, and even more so than the Bandai Creations Rodan, and I really like that. There's not a lot in terms of the sculpt to point out. I guess if there's one thing, this is probably just me, but the horns here feel a little off. Again, that could just be me. I feel like they should be a bit pointier and a bit longer, but other than that, yeah, the sculpting on this figure is actually still very nice, so the sculpt gets a pass. Now take a look at the detailing, and the detailing on this figure, again, looks great. So starting off with the head, the beak is detailed very nicely, if my camera can focus, there it is. And we have some creasing on the side of the head, and some creasing on the top of the head, which looks very nice and very well defined. The horns could look better, however the neck looks very nice as well, and his rolls back here look good too. And continue on the back. All the detailing in the center looks pretty decent. Actually, really quick, when I was a kid, I always thought this tail looked kind of weird, but that was probably just me. However, the back of the wings, there's not a lot of detailing, and that doesn't look great. So, yeah. However, the detailing on the back of the legs look nice. The hallux there and the creases and whatnot, it looks good. Now for the front of the body, the detailing here for his chest, torso, legs, and shins look very nice. And the detailing on his feet look very good as well. There's detailing on the wings here, which I get that's accurate to have, you know, it's smooth here and rough here, but to me this just looks kind of bland, so yeah. Anyway, the detailing here looks very nice. And the detailing on the arms look pretty decent. The hands look decent, not great, but just decent. And this is something that kind of bothers me. The detailing for the extended pinky moves all the way to there, but then just kind of gives up, which is a little lazy. Again, that's probably accurate, and it's actually been kind of a while since I've watched the movie, but yeah, that's one thing that I'm not really the biggest fan of. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the detailing on this figure. The detail on this figure is very nice. There are some minor things where it could be a lot better, but as a whole, the detailing here looks great, so it gets a pass. And at the end of the day, should you get this? I'd say yeah. There's not a lot of Rodan figures out there on Amazon for like a good price, or not just Amazon, but this figure costed me about 20 bucks, which really isn't bad considering. There is a Bandai Movie Monster Series Rodan for the new Godzilla King of the Monsters line, however, that Rodan looks absolutely atrocious, so don't get that. If you want a good Rodan figure for a good price, then I'd say this works perfectly fine. So yeah, if you want this figure, definitely go for it. It is about 20 bucks on Amazon, but if you want to know how big he is, here he is next to Dr. Billy Grant. Alright, now that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zek out.